What is going on, guys? Rodney here with cryptobros, back from my Vegas hiatus. And in tonight's video, I'm going to be talking about the top maybe 5 or 6 tips that I have to keep yourself safe when you are active in the cryptocurrency space. Before I do that, though, I just want to take a quick scroll through the market, quick market update. Obviously, we're starting to see some big movement here. Bitcoin back up over 10K. That 5-figure psychology will be coming into play. That's a great thing here. Ethereum approaching $1,000 again. So some big moves to be made. What we've basically seen over the last few days is that our bigger coins are starting to, our larger, older cryptocurrencies are starting to make the move first. Today, though, really, I think we're starting to see some moves in some of these stronger projects in the altcoin world. VeChain, a good pick for February, up 20%. Remember, they are doing the rebrand. This is going to bring some volume buys into this project. It's already good to begin with. Icon up 10%. Nano up almost 10%. So basically, we're just starting to see some movement in these smaller coins to kind of follow behind Bitcoin. I don't think a lot of these are going to make drastic moves right away, but it is nice to see. I mean, Binance is up over $10 again. It's awesome. So anyway, all that being said, we are moving forward in the market, but let's get into tonight's topic, and that is safety and security when it comes to, keeping your crypto safe. What I'm going to be covering is just things that I personally do. You guys totally can do whatever it is that you want, but the number one thing that I don't do is I don't do any crypto activity on my cell phone. Except maybe check my Twitter, and that is literally it. I don't do any trading. I do have applications downloaded on there, so if I'm on my phone and I want to check, scroll through Binance, I can see that, but I've never logged in. I don't do that. It gets dangerous, especially when you're on a public Wi-Fi or even just the service provider. People are getting super crafty out there, and especially with all these new and emerging people that are coming into the space, they may not know better, and it's very easy for these guys to slip in and get your information. If I didn't say this in the start of the video, I've shot this or tried to shoot this a couple times, but if you are new to the space, you probably want to stick around. If you've been around the block a few times, you can probably shut this off now. This is stuff you probably already know. But that being said, my number one is no cell phone trading. That's something I don't do. Maybe the only way I would consider doing that is if I'm at home on my own Wi-Fi. I mean, I do have a VPN set up. I have it on my phone and my computer, my wife's phone, whatever. I'll get into that in a minute, but most of the time I won't. You click on weird shit in your phone, you never know what type of things are going to pop up. So number two, when you're setting up for all of these different exchanges, you don't want an email that is directly tied to you. I don't have my primary email as my exchange login emails, and if you have this done already, that's actually okay. You don't need to rush out there and change your email, but it is something that you want to consider. And so an example might be if your name is like Ted Jones, you don't want your Binance login email or whatever to be tedjones@gmail.com. You might want to make something up funky. Super sweet skateboarder 362@gmail is your login for your exchanges, and that is the only thing that email is related to. That way, if something does slip up, there isn't a direct correlation. I know a lot of people do that, and that's a super simple tip, but it is something to consider, especially if you're on a bunch of different exchanges. It's not really great to have your personal email tied to that. Stuff is slipping out all the time. We've seen even some of the biggest dudes on the internet get hacked, so protect yourself. Set up separate emails. Don't use them for anything else. Also, on that same point, if you want to, and I recommend this for maybe your personal emails, if you have crypto stuff set up in there, you can actually set up a 2-factor authentication for your email stuff. If you just actually Google it, if I remember to, I will post this link below on how to do that. It just walk you through step by step on how to set up a 2-factor authentication on your Gmail account or whatever it may be, or you can literally just Google how to set up 2-factor authentication for Gmail or Google or whatever it is. But so that is number 2, separate emails on there. Number 3, this is pretty self-explanatory, is to get your long-term holdings or stuff you want to sit on, figure out a way to get it off the exchange. If you're super bullish on Turd Coin and you're going to hold it for a year and you don't want to trade any of it, get it off the exchange. It's okay, it's okay to hold some currencies on the exchanges. Sometimes you're gonna have to log in. Sometimes you're active in a trade, so that is completely fine. But some of your long-term stuff, get it off the exchanges. Especially if it's long-term, maybe you don't want to trade that. It'll stop you from doing that. And I'm not saying that you can't trade your long-term your long-term holdings. Maybe it's a small percentage. If you're super, if you love Turd Coin, and you have 50,000 of them in your storage, but you still like to trade 5,000 of the coins because you can make a profit, you can totally do that. So moral of the story is, get it off the exchanges. If you're wondering how to do that, I use a Trezor. I've done a video review on Trezor. You can watch that. You can get it actually on Amazon. And what I found hilarious is, look at the price drop. When we were, I didn't want to get in this rant, but when we were doing things in November, December, and January, Trezors and these hardware wallets were, $150 or more. I think I paid $150 for my Trezor at the end of last year. But if you don't want to do that, I think for $100, especially at this point, it's a super deal, and I'll actually post the Amazon link below. That is my affiliate link. You don't have to use it. If you don't even want to buy Trezor at all, you don't, but that is down below. That's how I fund my low operation channel. But if you don't want to use that, get a get a computer-based wallet. I recommend Exodus. It is super easy to download. This is it right here, guys. This is specific to my actual laptop. As you can see, I put a little bit of cheese on here so you can kind of see what it looks like. But and it's salt, and there's $250 worth of salt in there. But this is specific to my actual computer, and so anytime I'm trying to get stuff off, or if I don't want to put it into hard storage, but this is something I like, you can send it here. This is what I used for quite some time, and I know a lot of people use Exodus wallets. They're constantly updating it with new coins that you can add in on there. It's super easy to use. You can exchange coins, how you want to on there, to whatever it is that you want. A lot of these are ERC20s. I don't know what all of them are, but it's just a good wallet, guys. And hold on, where's what I want to go to here? So here's where you can kind of select what you want on this. Very easy to use, specific to your actual computer. So definitely check it out. If you have 30 grand worth of crypto sitting on Binance, that can get scary. So consider getting a portion of that off here. And what you'll do is, when you download this, it's super easy. I believe the website is exodus.io. Very easy to install. Once you get some cryptocurrencies on there, you'll go and back it up. You'll get a 12-digit private key. A private key are those words that you would punch in. You'll write those down. You'll store it in a safe place. That way, if your computer crashes or something happens, you still have access to this. I've never used my Ether wallet. I know a lot of people do use that. I'm not a super huge fan, because that goes through a full website, and what we've seen lately is some weird stuff going on with my Ether wallet. So I recommend something that is specific to your actual, your computer. So what was that? Tip number 3 and 4 are the same thing in terms of getting your cryptos off the exchanges and onto some type of wallet in terms of your long-term holding. My number 4 tip, and I think this is huge, is to use a VPN. This provides some security towards your internet connection, towards your IP address. Is it the end-all be-all of safety? No, but when you are searching the web, when you're doing stuff, it protects other people from seeing who you are, where your location is, all of this stuff. Gives you a private IP address. I think mine is on 365 days a year. you can log in from whatever country or continent or wherever it is that you want to go to. I can do Italy right now, Greece. I can get out to do Africa, India. It doesn't matter. You can just kind of blind yourself. I've done a full video review on NordVPN. If you're unaware of what it is, I will post that video. I'll post that video towards the end of this, somewhere around here, and you guys can totally check this out. But it's literally, I think I paid $100 for 3 years of service. It's like $2 and maybe 75 cents. I have a coupon code as well, and I think that saves you 75 or 77% off. That could be some fake BS, like huge percentage off to get people to buy, but there is a code there. Either way, the link is below to do that. That is my affiliate link, but I'm a big fan of this. Like I said, I have a VPN set up on my cell phone. I have a VPN, I have the VPN set up on my wife's phone, and I have it set up on my laptop and other computers that we have in the house just to keep us safe. Not necessarily only for crypto, but if you're out there browsing some sites and shit, like this will give you it'll just hide your persona. And even if it's not specifically for crypto, you don't want your data being leaked out there, and this is very, very helpful tool if you're online a lot. So the very last couple things, these aren't tips that I necessarily these are things that I do, but I don't have. I'll tell you right now, I don't have a firewall. I think that I am going to buy a firewall for everything in the house just to be safe, right? I put myself out there on the internet. You never know how crafty someone is to get a crypto. I think I've seen this one, and it was actually a recommendation from Jacob Canfield, the I Love Crypto dude. It's I believe it's called Crypto Wall. He has a 5% off coupon on there. When I go with one based on his recommendation, I'll probably use that, but I don't have one now. Just going through the motions here. But one thing I do use is a separate laptop for all of my my trading. Right, you can go out there and buy a $250 Google Chromebook or whatever it is, Surface Pro, even like an iPad or something like that. You can do that. And if you think about it, if you're at home trading with your family and your kids are online, everybody's using the same computer, you never know what type of things are going to get clicked on. And there's tons of phishing attacks and funky emails and shitty websites, all that are out there that are trying to scam you and get your information. If your identity, maybe if your identity has been hacked, that sucks. But some of these things can be prevented with a little, just a little application here of taking some precautions. So consider getting a separate laptop specifically for crypto. You're not clicking on any other weird websites. You're not going outside of the realm of safety. You're not doing weird shit on your email. It is just there so you can trade your crypto, so you don't get any weird things on your computer that leaks your information elsewhere. The sad thing is you may think that I sound ridiculous, but this stuff happens fairly often, guys. So protect yourself out there. All that being said, that is all I have for you this evening. So if you're new to the space, I hope you found some value here. If you are a seasoned veteran and you made it this far, salute to you guys. But these are just simple tasks that you can implement very easily. Between basically a Trezor hardware wallet and a VPN, you're looking at $200, and in my opinion, that is 90% more than most people have out there in the space. Not too many people are taking the extra precautions, but the last thing that you want is to be a victim of some scummer out there trying to get your shit. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I have for you tonight. If you're finding these videos helpful at all, by all means, subscribe. We're up to 2,500-ish. Just a little fish in a big sea here, but I do appreciate all those. I certainly appreciate the subscriptions as well as the likes and the comments. I do have to spend some time tonight and tomorrow getting back to everyone. I was on a hiatus, then I was sick. I'm still recovering. I still actually feel fairly shitty. Vegas with layovers and airports and lack of sleep just really wore down my my immune system here. So anyway, guys, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you for sticking around, and I will check you guys tomorrow with another cryptocurrency video. See ya.